person can do, or how you can get the request. But before that, any questions?
Yeah, Dhanush, like not regarding security, regarding the compensation.
Yeah, tell me, Kirti.
Yeah, I have hired one employee named Google Test 4, and I have assigned a manager to each and every employees whom I hired. So now I want to change the manager, but I'm not able to change. So like how we need to change a manager?
Okay, so tell me your this thing, Google,
Google,
right?
yeah. And now after assigning manager, if I go to actions and click on roles, I'm not able to view it. Like,
Okay.
enterprise.
So you hide these employees?
Yeah, under this Google Enterprises, and I have hired two employees under Google India. Like that's having what management is job.
Okay.
Go to enterprises organizational chart.
Okay,
Yeah,
so where
Google
did
India
you?
I have hired.
Okay, Google India, you hide 2 people. Okay, now
Yeah.
what you do? What you want to do here?
Now I assign manager to this Google India, and then I assign Logan McNeil to Google US. But when I
Okay.
open the organizational charts, now I want to change the manager. So, but I'm not able to change.
So for which organization you want to change the manager? So let's say,
Yeah.
yeah, for Google Enterprises, Enterprise, Google HR head, Google IT, you have assigned these people as managers.
Yeah, this Google
Is
Touch for Comp is a Google Executive Management. Like he is a manager.
okay, and then you assigned Logan McNeil as the manager to Google United States. This is fine, right?
Yeah,
Now tell me what you want to change. You want to change managers under India or under executive or
this
where?
under Executive Management. I want to change the manager.
So you want to change the manager of your executive management group,
Yeah,
Supark.
yeah.
Okay, then let me go to your
So now if I
executive
go
group.
to yeah related actions, so after that I didn't able to see like assign roles. Once after like assigning.
Okay, so now you want to change. Okay, let me go to roles. So I say, okay, let me say view roles first as of today's date. And then here you see who is the manager. Who's the manager? Manager is this person. Now you want to change this person to some other person.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So now what I do is go back, cancel this. Me go back to this executive group. Now go back to action. So here also you can see the roles. You can see the manager is this person. Now go back to your roles, assigned roles, and you want to do it as of today, then choose this. So here you have a manager, right? Go here, cross, click on that cross, and now you just try to add any manager here. You can also add Logan McNeil.
Okay.
Okay, let's say let me assign Logan McNeil. So Logan McNeil is assigned, say okay. Now that manager will be replaced with your Logan McNeil. So now again, if you go to your come down, so your manager is Logan McNeil now. And here also you can see the name got changed. So this is how you can go and change a manager.
Okay, manage. Oh, okay, Dhanush. Thank you.
All right, okay. Any other thing that you want to
Dhanush,
okay, on
like
security? Go ahead.
I have one more question. Like while we are hiring an employee, like and assigning compensation, so we are doing that full process record, right? So that full
Mhm.
process report is for all the business process. I mean, whenever some business process is pending, so we need to click on that full process record.
Yes. So why we went to that reassign process means, let's say, so for every business process, anyways I will discuss today the BPs and then show you practically tomorrow. But let me give you a glimpse of it. So, for example, for every business process, have a security group assigned. Okay, let's take in business process of hire. So let's say who is going to initiate the hire. Let's say HR partner. Then who is going to propose the compensation partner. Who is going to review it. Let's say HR analyst. So here in that business process, it is a security group is assigned at each and every step, so that any employee who is holding that security group will go and try to do that particular action. So now what happened in our process, there is no security group. That means we initiated some action, and now that the BPs got processed, triggered, and then it is searching through whom I have to go and do this action. So it is not getting any person out there, even though we have assigned HR partner, but it is not, the system is not getting any security group or any person there. So it is getting stuck somewhere in the loop. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to the full process record. Now I'm saying, okay, this process did not find any person, so I reassign to a person. That is something like our Logan McNeil. Now once I reassign, now the request will directly go to your Logan McNeil and fall in the inbox, so that the Logan McNeil can proxy, and then you can go and you can do it. This happens only when there is no correct security group assigned to that particular step. Then only this happens. Or else, let's say you have assigned an HR partner and you know who's the HR partner, you can proxy to that person and then go and do the things.
Yeah, the
Okay.
reason why I am asking this is actually when I clicked on this reassign steps, my net
Mhm.
got disconnected. So and
Okay.
then again after reconnecting, I'm not able to see the reassign steps. So I went to that staffing and then I found that when I clicked on actions, I found a full process record.
Yeah, so the beauty of Workday is, like, let's say whenever you stopped any process, that process will be there itself. Like, let's say you try to reassign it somewhere, something happened in between, so you haven't completed the action, only that thing will remove, like your reassignment couldn't happen, but whatever the before step you were there, that step will
Yeah.
stop there itself. It will not proceed. So again, once everything is set, you can go and then again you can proceed with the steps.
Yeah, it is showing like hiring process has completed and this is in pending.
Correct. Right. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Okay, if no questions, then I will just continue with what we have discussed yesterday on security. Again, one other thing that I missed yesterday on security is I showed you how to create a custom security, like a new security, by going to the action called as create security group. But let's say there might be a requirement, because today I was just going through some requirements and then I found somewhere that your client might ask you to get the permissions or the domain permissions or the business process permissions from a seeded, like from a Workday delivered security group, and then they will ask you to add few more permissions. Okay, let's say they'll say you, okay, Kirti, now there's a Workday delivered HR partner security group is there. So I went, I saw all the permissions. I really like that security group. But in my requirement, for my custom requirement, there are few more permissions I want to add to it. So in that case, what you do is you never disturb the Workday delivered securities. Like, let's say if the this person has like your client has a few more permissions needed on HR partner, then the best suggestion would be is to copy that HR partner to some other new security group and then try to add that additional security permissions. Because whenever you try to copy a security group, all that permissions and everything will be copied to your custom security group. And with that, when you want to add few other permissions, so you will choose which functional area, which domain, which business process, and then you will go there and you will try to add additional steps or additional permissions in that particular functional areas. But you will not try to modify any of the Workday delivered security groups. Modifying, because today you modified, you know that you have modified, yes, that went fail. But again, tomorrow, maybe after 1 year, you want the same properties of your HR partner, then it would be difficult for you to go and again remove or add certain things. So that's the reason, in general, Workday also doesn't suggest you to add certain permissions in the Workday delivered security groups. In fact, what you can do is you can create a new security group and then you can add or copy that existing security group to your new security group. Okay. So
Yesterday,
yeah.
yeah, yesterday, like this is what like I asked you, like can we copy? Because in
We
PeopleSoft,
can
like in
copy.
working for PeopleSoft, we can, like if we want to create one user, like we'll copy that user and then we'll give some extra permissions, everything.
Okay, okay. So you have this option in Workday as well. Maybe I think I said yes, but I think I did not show you what is the task. So let me show you the task. So always, so when you go and create a security group, it is always create security group. But when you go and copy a security group, it's always your copy security group. So you say copy security group. Now let's say I want to copy, let's say compensation partner. So I have compensation partner by location. I have this as a straightforward thing. I can add this. And you want the permissions also to be copied? Yes. If you check this checkbox, you need to say yes. And this is an alert. This we saw, right? Once you do any changes to the permission, you have to run a program later. Okay. And then you say copy system user assignments. That means if you have assigned this particular security group to any of the user, and then you want the same users to be assigned whatever the new security group you are creating, you want this security group to be also added to the same set of users, then you will also check this checkbox. Okay, once you check this checkbox, click on OK. And here you can change your name. Let's say ours is TCS. Say TCS HR partner. Okay, and then sorry, this is comp partner, right? I'll say TCS compensation partner. And then here in this assignable role, if you want to keep the same role as compensation partner, you can keep it, or you can create a new assignable role. So how you do that? Go back to your maintain assignable roles. And then you can create your own assignable role as well. So you can create a new one. I'll say TCS. I think yesterday also I showed you this regarding the project controller. So I'll say TCS comp partner. So once you give the right name, so come back here, you have to just check this checkbox, hide on view if not assigned. So after checking this, okay, there is one more thing that you need to do. You need to enable this. So if at all you want to enable this for what type of organization, whether it's a supervisory organization, because you want to assign roles on a supervisory, you have to take supervisory organization, or you can choose a custom organization, you can choose a cost center organization, a region organization, whatever it is. So I'll say it is like supervisory organization, because I want to assign this always at the top. So add this. Security administrator, this is very, very important. If you don't add this, then the system doesn't know who will come and add this particular role to this user. Okay, so I'll say security administrator. So once you add this, say okay. So once you do this, the next thing is you have to run the program. If you run the program, the changes will not reflect. I'll say, okay, you haven't completed this. So right now, let's go and complete this and run the program. Assignable role, TCS. So you have com partner, add this here, and then if you want to assign these rights to the organizations, like assign to current organization and unassigned subordinates, or applies to current organization and subordinates. So generally we go with third option, because I want to assign this at the top level and the below subordinates as well. So for this I'm going to do, and then roles that access to the position they support. This is one option that we can choose, and then say okay. Say done. And now you go here and say activate pending security policy changes. Okay, go here. Let's see if this is submitted. This is submitted. You can just give something test. Say okay. So this is showing. So this is what it is showing. This will show you all the process that you are doing. So you are saying by user on behalf of Logan McNeil, you are trying to copy all these domain security permissions. Okay, this is domain and this is your business process, because I said all the permissions of com partner should be copied to my TCS com partner. So that's the reason this is showing up all this as a references. You can say confirm, check the checkbox and say okay. Okay, so this is done. Now what I can do is I'll say TCS Enterprise. So now I can go back to my roles, assigned roles, and let me keep as of today's date. Let me click on plus here, and then in this role I have TCS, and then I have com partner. I can add this, and I can say Logan McNeil can be my com partner. So I can add my Logan McNeil here, and say okay. So now if you go to your roles, somewhere you will see maybe manager, come down. So here you can see TCS com partner is assigned to your Logan McNeil. Now instead of HR partner, we have done it and then we assigned it. So but my requirement is I need to add few more permissions. Let's say I want to add like domain permissions on compensation for this particular person. So what should I do? So I need to add more permissions. So what should I do here in this case? Where I have to navigate, how I have to go and check. Any guess, any inputs? Let's say I want to add this to my compensation function area. Okay, because I want any user who holds this particular TCS com partner security group should also go and do certain tasks like add your, let's say your one-time payment, add bonus or add allowance or something like that. So then where I will go, how I will go. All right. Okay, so where I will go, again what I will do, again yesterday I told you a report. There's actually a report. The report is domain security policy for functional area. Yeah, take this for functional area, and your functional area would be your compensation. Okay, let me give the complete name, compensation, core compensation, then say okay. And then these are all your function areas. Let's say, let me click on this add allowances. In this add allowances, now I want to go and add my security group, because any person who holds this TCS com partner should be able to go and add the compensation. Okay. Now, first thing what I'll do, I will check, because I've copied it. I will go and check HR partner is there, but anything related to TCS, yeah, TCS compensation partner is also there here. Why? Because we said all permissions, so this also automatically got the permission. And now let me go somewhere and see, like this should not exist. Okay, now here there's something like audit compensation overall. So this is the requirement that the person who holds this particular TCS compensation partner should also do some auditing on your compensation, overall compensation. Then what I have to do, I have to come here. You have to first check the status active. So that means if it is inactive, you have to first make that as active, and then you have to add the permissions. So now what I do, I'll say edit permissions, because this is already active. Click on here and search for your role. So this is my versus compensation partner. This is the one that I want. So I will always get an alert. Why alert? Because I need to run the program, activate program. So if I say okay, and then say done, and then the next step would be is to activate. So I'll say activate security. Sorry, I'll say pending. Policy changes. I'll go here. Again, I can give anything. I'll say TCS. So now this will also show me what are the changes that have been done. Okay, it says like audit compensation overall. So I'm trying to add this policy here. Then I'll say okay. So once this is done, then that means your this thing is correct. Like now you can go assign this. You have assigned this, right? Now you can let's say you have assigned on this organization Logan McNeil as the TCS com partner. Now you can go and this Logan McNeil can go and do that action. Like she can also go and audit that particular overall compensation things as well. Okay, now this Logan McNeil have the access to also do that thing. So this is how in the real time, and these we generally get to copy, but not like because organizations and your clients will mostly use 70% of your Workday delivered only, because Workday have given so many security groups where it is sufficient for them to go and add it. But if there is like, there will be like 20-30% requirement where you have to just copy your security group. And there might be other requirements where you have to go and create a security group. Out of this 30%, there will be an options to copy or create your security groups and assign to it. Assign to, like if it is a manual assignment, it should be. So what are the security groups that we manually assign? What type of security groups? And what type of security? Sorry?
Like user-based security.
Correct. So user-based is one. That is like we go and manually assign it, and there is one more security group. Okay, so the other security group is your role-based. So always now we have just assigned a role, right? We have assigned a role that TCS com partner is a role which we have assigned to my Logan McNeil. So I've done it manually. So again, role-based security group is what you do it manually. Okay, and in the same way, what automatically gets added? Which security group gets added automatically?
It's organization.
No. Okay, so job-based security group is one which gets automatically added depending on a job profile, job category, or compensation. Sorry, it is management level, or it can be job family. These are the four criteria. So based on this criteria, a job profile, once you add it to a position and an employee gets hired, then automatically that security, like job-based security group, gets automatically assigned to the employee. And what are different types of like Workday delivered security groups? Examples, because these kinds of questions only you will get in your interviews if you want to give an interview on Workday. So what are the, like, you can just, they can ask you like, tell me like any 5 Workday delivered security groups.
Employee as self, manager as self.
Okay, 2. So we can say employee as self, your terminee as self, your manager as self, your all employees is again one delivered, your what else you have, and again HR partner, com partner, benefits partner, your security administrator, these are all Workday delivered. Okay, at the same time your implementers is again a security group delivered by Workday. So these are all kind of an examples where Workday go and deliver. And if at all I want to see like the properties of each and every security group, where should I go?
Domain policy.
Let's say I want to. Sorry?
Like domain policy for functional area.
So you'll go there to change the permissions. But I want to see the property. Like now I want to say like, okay, I want to go and see the permissions of HR partner. which
View
is a security
security.
group. So where I go. Correct. So view security group is a report, delivered report, standard report given by Workday. So you will run that report and you will search for HR partner. And there on that HR partner, you will go and see what are the business process security policies, your domain security policies there. And then you see to who are all the employees this security group assigned. You will see all those properties under your security group and how to go and search for the security group to the standard report given by Workday, which is something like your view security groups. Okay, so that's it. So, and Keith, you're on track, I think. So you're giving good answers. So yeah, practice more will be good for you.
Thank you.
All right. What else? So let's say I want to see like what is the staffing models. So what, like whether which organization is a job management, which organization is position management under my hierarchy, then where I can go and see.
Like organization edit staffing.
No, I don't want to see on a particular organization. I want to see that as a report results. I want to see if at all I created 10 organizations, okay, within a hierarchy, supervisor hierarchy. So I want to see the staffing model assigned to all the 10 organizations at a time. Then, okay, so then where you will go? You will go to maintain staffing model. So maintain staffing model is one standard report given by Workday. Again, if you go there and then you will try to search for your top level organization, let's say TCS Enterprise or your Google Enterprise, anything as such, then the top level organization as well as the below organization, what is the staffing model assigned to it will be shown in that report like maintain staffing models. Okay. Yep. All right, any other clarifications? We have 20 minutes more, but I want to start business process because tomorrow I want to give a practical overview. I'll try to create a business process and give you a practical overview. But before that, I just want to go and give an introduction of business process. Why business process? What is the main purpose of business process and everything? Okay, and tomorrow also we have a session at 10 o'clock only. Okay. Fine. So now tell me, like, what do you understand by business process? Like, I think we also spoke once, twice, thrice in these classes about BPs. So now, what do you understand? What is a BP? What is a business process?
Any process which requires approvals or any workflow attached to it.
All right. Any workflow attached to it? Okay.
Any like we need any approvals.
Okay. Only approvals. Okay. Arun, any inputs from your side? You're so silent. Oh, he went offline. All right. Okay. I think he's facing some issues from 2 days with some network issue. All right. Let's see whether he comes online. Arun, you there?
Yeah, Dhanush, actually, I'm having some internet issues here.
Yeah, I can see that. Even you, I think you are facing the same issue from past 2 to 3 days. I see a lot of offline, online.
Yeah, because I'm traveling. I'm in Pune right now. So
okay.
Due to that, I'm connected to the hotel network and it's not that reliable.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So when you will be back again?
I'll be back on Sunday.
Okay. 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 So then it's fine. Then maybe from Monday it will be comfortable for you. Home network.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, even when you're talking, I cannot, answer whatever questions you are asking because my the audio buttons keep, loading. It doesn't give me an option to speak.
Oh, okay. 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 That's fine. That's not an issue. Okay. Okay. Fine. So So like Keith was telling, like business process is something like a workflow which will allow to just do some approvals. Okay, so any other inputs from your side, Arun? What is a BP? What is a process?
The business process is. I'm sorry. I'm literally. I'm forgetting everything these days. A lot of pressure.
No, that's fine. If you say that's fine, or else that is always fine. No issues. Okay.
Yeah, it's a business process. What the steps which needs to be, to be done. Kind of approvals, initiation and approvals of different things on Workday.
Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. So, okay, so business process is something like it is a series of steps where we try to include in order to do certain event. Okay, let's say when I say event, event can be something like a hire, so like your change job or your termination or creating of your applicant, creating of your position, job requisitions, hiring restrictions, edit hiring restrictions, all these are part of your business processes. Okay, and as such, like we don't create any new business process in Workday. We never have the right to create any business process. But if you feel that there is a process that is required by client and that process is mandatory where the client is insisting, then you are going to raise this in your Workday brainstorming. Okay, there's an kind of a forum called Workday Brainstorming, where in that we go and post these kind of scenarios. Like we say that, okay, like our client is insisting for this process to be like a separate process for them, something like a commission process. If the client wants to maintain a commission kind of a process which is not delivered by Workday, but that's a sales commission process is important for them. So in that case, if we just post this in the Workday brainstorming, so Workday is going to look at it, the partners are going to look at it, the clients are going to look at it, even the implementers or whoever have the access can look into it. And then people can go and give different approach. People can give their suggestions, okay, do this way, that way. If people also feel that, okay, there's no standard process, then Workday might also think about it. Workday thinks, okay, this is a request came by a client. So if this will be implemented, then it can be also useful for the other clients. If that is the approach from Workday, then Workday is going to create a new business process for that particular request. Like it can be sales commissions, it can be whatever it is. So that is something like in business, like you don't create any new business process. You have that business process. You have to search for that corresponding business process in Workday. And then you can copy that business process, and then you can you can give your own name and copy the standard process, and then you can assign that business process over your top level organization. And like last time, like what we saw, like in the recent upgrades, like in the recent versions, if you try to assign it at the top level, it gets inherited. But that was not the case when we were doing it, because we used to do it on all the organizations. But now it is something like an inheritance. The BPs also get inherited until unless, let's say there are 5-level hierarchy that you are maintaining, and except in the 4th level, there's an organization which does an additional steps in the hiring process. But all other organizations, all the 5 levels of organizations maintain the same steps. So what you're going to do is, you go edit that particular supervisory organization, and then you try to assign a particular BP over it, which have additional steps. So you can assign it at different, like if there's a request to a different processes, then you assign it. But once you do it at the top level, that can be always be inherited to the below levels. Okay. And now, majorly, you will always get a list. I'll send you a list of BPs that we have, or you can just go and say, view business process or view business processes in Workday. You will get some report, standard report, okay, through which you can go and you can understand what all the business processes you have. But again, coming up in business processes, as Kirti said, one process can be that there can be an approval process that is completely fine. And Arun said there can be a process to initiate an action or review something, that is also fine. So these are some of the processes that were added in your BPs. Okay, there might be initiate action, there might be your approval action, there might be your to-do action. To-do is something like a reminder action. There can be an if condition. If condition means, let's say a particular step should be applicable, or stock grant. Like for example, your company is giving you stocks. Okay, and then your company says that, okay, the stock grant is applicable only to the employees working in US, but it's not applicable to any other location-based organization. So if that is the case, then we can also do a condition. We can write a condition, which in Workday we call it as a step condition. So we can write a condition here, and then we can say, okay, using this condition, you can just go and try to like give a condition saying that location of location equal to US is yes. Then do this, else you can just move to the next step. You can also add those step conditions. So that is where we will also try to include all these processes. Basically, you will say who approves or denies something in whatever happened, and who needs to do additional tasks. Like if at all I need to go within the hire process, like last time I've shown you within that hire process, I've added that core compensation. So that is something called as your sub processes. Okay, so core compensation is a sub process. That means once you add a sub process into the main processes, then once the cursor goes to the sub processes, it will again see like if there are any steps in that sub processes. Because when I add that proposed compensation hire, that proposed compensation hire is again a BP. It's an individual BP. Now I added that in my hire BP. So let's say initiation step is 1, and second step is your proposed compensation hire. So when the cursor will initiate the action and it will go to the second step, then in that step it will find something like again one more BP. Now where the cursor will go back searching for that particular business process and what are all the steps that are there in that BP. And now let us assume that there are 4 or 5 steps in your proposed compensation hire. Only once it goes, the trigger goes to that proposed compensation hire BP, and then it will try to process all the steps. And once it comes back, all the steps are completed, or all the 4 steps are completed, then only the cursor comes back to the hire BP. But until unless that gets completed, it will always be at your proposed compensation. So once all the steps are done, again it will come back and see if there is any new process in it. If there isn't any process, then it will try to complete the process. But if there is something like step C, step D, step E and all, it will always go and try to like implement those steps as well. Okay. And one other important thing is your steps are nothing but something like it will try to maintain the order in an alphabetical order. Okay, alphabetical order, it's like not numerical, it's not like 1, 2, 3 and all. BP doesn't allow any numbers in terms of steps. BP always follows your alphabetical order, A, B, C, and that too small. Okay, and now let's say I have added A, I have added B, but under B I need again one more process. I need one more step to be added under B, which should be only under B. So in that case, what you do is you say again B, A. Okay, you will have A as first step, second step B, but under second step you also want one more step relevant to B, then that step will always be BA, BB, BC, BD. In that way you can add multiple sub steps in your each and every step. And let's say once that 4 steps are done, B, D is done, then it will come back to C, D, E. So tomorrow I'll show you all this whenever we create any new business process. Okay. And then it also try to help you, says that who needs to know something, what happened, or any additional system events that needs to be initiated, or anything like conditions to be initiated, any Workday accounts to be created. So these are all the processes that your business process will go and validate. Okay. And then again, whenever you have something like, you have majorly 3 things. When I say something, you have 3 things in BP. One is your action. So what is the action? Task or events within Workday. That means your to-do is an action, your approval is an action, your rejection is an action, your correct is an action, your cancel is an action. These are all your actions. Sorry, approval is not an action because approval is altogether a different one. Actions are something like this: initiate, cancel, resend. Okay, these are all your like actions. And the second thing is your approvals. Okay, so what is an approval? Approval of a task or an event within that particular process, within your sub-process. And the third is something like a to-do. To-do is something like a reminder to do a particular task. either within that business process or outside that particular system. But it is again a reminder kind of a thing to do certain to-do tasks. Okay, these three are basic things that we try to inaugurate whenever we go and try to add your steps in your BPs. In the same way, we have step, we have order, which we have just discussed. It is something like A, B, C, and all. We can add some type of if condition where it says like if it always validates like normal if condition. If this is, then do this process. If this is not, then do not do this process in that way. Okay. And there will be a something like type. Type is again your action, or it can be a service, or it can be a to-do kind of a thing. And if there is something like specify, optional, groups. Groups is very important. Groups is something like your security groups. Okay, now why we have taken security before business process is just to make sure that we try to assign the right security group to each and every step that we try to perform. Okay, and there are certain steps where you also don't need to attach a security group, something like sub processes. But if there are major processes, like you're trying to add a compensation, you're trying to add a stock grant, or you're trying to add something else related to the major task, for that you will try to say who is going to do this particular task. Always security group will always question who. So if a particular user have that security, then that user can go and do that particular task, but it always relates to who. Okay, and then you have something like routing restrictions, like for example, let's say it should go to a different level, but you want to route it to some other level, then those where we go and do something like your routing restrictions. And then there will also be something like a completion step. You have, whenever you are trying to create a BP, you have to always say somewhere you have to complete the step. If you don't mention that, then your business process will be again in the loop. It will be just running in a loop. You don't know where to end, so that it will be just running in a loop. Again, we will also try to see those particular things as well tomorrow. While we'll try to write a condition, we'll try to put some routing restrictions, we'll try to also put some approvals, we'll try to complete a task, we'll try to do all these things tomorrow. Okay, and there are certain business process types as well, like we say just as step types. Step types is something like your initiation, your action, your approval chain, your batch, your checklist, your consolidated approvals, your reports, your edit. Even in the VPs also you can include a report. Let's say you said 4 steps are done, 5th step should be a report, where that once you go to that 5th step, automatically the user have to run that report, and after running the report, then see the results, and once the results are done, then it will go and go to the last step or the completion step. So that means you can always go and add a report as a step in your BPs, which is again your important stuff that we try to save. Okay, so these are some of this, and then there is also something like your standard business processes delivered by Workday. Okay, so what are the standard BPs? If you want to go and see, for example, I'll say BP, default definition. So anything you see as a default definition, that is always your Workday delivered. So this is your BP default definition for your hire. So that means someone might have added something here because this is added. So that's the reason you are getting some errors and all. But in real time, what we do is we never try to add anything in your default definitions. We'll try to copy this default definition into our own definitions, but we will never try to do it on the default. So someone who doesn't have any idea, some trying to add something, that's the reason they are ended up with some errors. Okay. In the same way, whenever you are trying to do it, never try to add anything in your standard like default definitions. Tomorrow I'll show you how to copy the standard definition to your business process definition and try to either remove certain steps or try to add certain steps in that BP, but never try to add anything in your default definitions. Okay, and here you can see this is what I'm talking about. These are all your steps. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. These are all the steps that have included. Someone have added J, J, J and all, but this should not be the case. It should be J, J, B, J, C and all. This is how you try to add it. That's the reason I think errors are coming up. See, this says that, see here, they're pointing out to J. Here again, step J, step J. So these are all your errors. You should not mention, you cannot repeat a step again and again. It should be either JA, JB and JC, but you cannot repeat it, something like this. So this will always throw into your errors. And in the same way, there might be something as your completion step. Okay, request work from home one time. No, there's no completion step here. I think they have added somewhere else, or they have removed that step. But tomorrow, anyways, I'll show you there would be a completion step where with that step you will try to complete the process within this PP. Okay. So again, here these are all part of your conditions that you are trying to add. This is a process that you are giving to a particular process that your client is following. Whether they are trying to do something like an hire, then you will initiate. You say that okay, these are all the processes that we can include in a hire. So that you will create a default definition. You will create a BP, and then you will try to assign that BP over your top level organization. Okay. And then, okay, I was telling you the other important thing is, let's say you started creating a BP. Now you want to add some other BPs, like as I told you, some sub processes under your main process, something like this. Proposed compensation hire is a sub process. Okay, and then change personal information is a sub process. Edit government IDs is a sub process. So if you want to add the sub process within your business process definition, then how do you know like whether there is a sub process that can be added or not? So where you can go is go to allowed actions by role here. So here, so under your hire, these are all the actions that you can go and assign. So these are the BPs. So action edit. So you can say these are BPs that you can go and add as a sub process. So assign matrix organization can be added, assign pay group can be added, assign UK payroll ID can be added. These are all the sub processes that you can assign at your higher business process level. And apart from this, there is again there is one more report that tells you to something like business process configuration options, I guess. Business process configuration options. Okay, go to this report. This is again a standard report delivered by Workday. So here you have to give the business process type. Let's say it can be your hire. So I'm saying I'll take hire here, and then return business process for which allowed sub processes. Yeah, here I want to know what are all the sub processes that are allowed here. Okay, so it says business process higher than sub process. No, it doesn't give any sub process. You see, okay. All right. So why this is coming up now, why this is not coming up before was, in this particular option, if you see return business process for which this selected are allowed as a sub process, this means this hire. So if you check this checkbox, what the system is checking is if this hire is a business process, like sub process to any other business processes. But in that case, we are saying hire is never a sub process to any business process. The other processes like your compensation hire, your government IDs, these can be your business processes, like sub processes under your hire, but your hire is always at the top. It's like a king. Okay, anyone have to work under king, but king will not work. That's the same way. Hire is always at the top level, and then you can add multiple sub processes to your hire, but hire cannot be added as a sub process to any other BPs, like business process definition. So here in this particular report, when you run this report, you will come to know what are all the sub processes that you can add under your hire business process. Okay, so here you say hire, and then you read some description, and on the right you have all these are part of your tasks that you can do under this particular hire. See, like add your probation period, add your collective agreement, assign costing allowances, assign matrix operations. So these are all your tasks that you can go and then you can assign on your in your hire actions. And what are the other BPs? If you come down, sub processes. It doesn't have any sub process. Let me move to the left, complete left. Okay, I think there's no sub processes that were allowed here. So these are only the tasks that were allocated to this particular hire, but there are no sub processes to it. Okay, that is fine then. There's no issue at all. Let's say if you want to search for your compensation. let me say proposed compensation. Yeah, proposed compensation for hire. Let me see, like if there is, if this process can be added as sub process to any other process, then I can check the checkbox. So here, these are all the tasks that are available under your proposed compensation hire, like assigning matrix organization, pay groups, your budgets, all that stuff. But if you go to the left, see you have hire event. So hire, where you can add this proposed compensation as a sub process to your hire as well here. In the same way, if you come down, I think there should be more sub processes under where you can add this proposed compensation as a sub process under other processes as well. So there's something like start international assignment. So if you go to this BP, you can assign this proposed compensation hire as an BP, like sub process to this particular standard business process. So this is a standard report which we go. There are only two ways. One is you have to run the report and see what are all the sub process, and the other is you have to click on this action allowed by role and then see like what are all the tasks or sub processes you can do on this Workday. Okay, any questions, any queries? All right, if there is no question, no queries, we will stop it here. And then tomorrow is an important session because I'll show you this practically and we'll see how it goes. So tomorrow I'll show you, I'll try to copy a default definition to my standard definition. I'll try to remove all the steps, and now from the scratch I'll start creating steps so that I'll show you, I'll take different scenarios, how to add an approval to this business process, how to add a to-do action, how to complete the step. There is something like a service step also. Service step will tell you like how Workday provides the service. That means there is something like a creation of Workday account. So whenever you try to include this step, Workday itself will automatically create a Workday account for the employee that you hired. Okay, which is an automatic. It's a service from Workday. So these are also types, something like your service, action, approval, to-do, review. All these are part of your BPs, business process steps. So tomorrow I'll show you how to go and create that and how that can be assigned on your organization level. Okay, any questions, any queries? All right, no questions, no queries?
Tomorrow is like same time, right?
Same time tomorrow, yes.
Is it possible to be please like in the afternoon time?
No, actually tomorrow in the afternoon you are in India, right?
Yeah, India.
So I think this would be on maintenance. Even if you open tomorrow in the morning after 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m., you cannot work anything on Workday tenant. It will be on maintenance.
Okay.
Okay, I think till 6:30 p.m. IST our time, it will be on maintenance. That is scheduled actually. Every Saturday from 6 a.m. IST to 6:30 p.m. or 6:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. IST, our tenant doesn't work.
Like
and
Saturday evening and Sunday, like we'll practice actually. So it's better that don't take classes on weekends.
That is there, but the thing is, again, like I'm going on a vacation, right? So that's the reason I want to just, again, you'll have the complete day on Sunday. Okay, so you have the complete day on Sunday, only will take for 1 hour in the Sunday evening, that to same time, 10 p.m. But completely in the morning, you have that. So I'm just taking 1 hour of yours, right?
Usually we'll practice on weekends, it's like Sunday and Saturday evening, Sunday. So better the classes only on weekdays.
Yeah, Kirti, I understand. What I'm saying is I'm taking only 1 hour, right, of your Saturday or Sunday. And that too, because like I'm going on a vacation, I want to see that most of the before I go. And maybe after I come back, if there are anything pending, then I can also take that. But I want, once I go to on my vacation, you will get like almost 10 days time to practice. Okay, and then you also have the videos with you, so you can also check, you can revisit the videos, go check, and maybe once I'm back, we can also schedule one doubt session and you can put all those questions in front of.
Okay, fine. So when you are going to vacation, Manush?
I will not be available from Friday.
Okay. Next Friday.
Okay. Next Friday, yes. Today is already Friday, yeah. Next Friday.
Okay, then.
Okay, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 6 days. So we'll see max how much we can cover in 6 days. Like we are almost done with this. Tomorrow we'll be done with BP, and on Sunday I'll take the transactions class. Transactions means how you can do multiple transactions on an employee, like where you go and propose compensation, where you go and add the address, where you change the contact information, your dependent information, how do you terminate an employee, what is the action you go, where you go for your job change. So these are all the activities that you need to know before you go and start working on any Workday project. So that I will explain you on Sunday. So once that is done, from Monday, we'll start our technical classes like your reports, your EIBs, your iLoads. I think iLoad is not there. iLoads is anyways there. There's one conversion tool in Workday which is something like iLoad, but this iLoad is getting discontinued. They are bringing up some other tool from August, I guess, August onwards. So there's no point in learning iLoad as well, but I'll give an introduction on that. Don't worry. So we'll see EIBs, we'll see reports, all that stuff.
Actually, there is a disconnected. So session is on Sunday then.
We have a session tomorrow. We have session on Sunday.
Sunday also.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're going for vacation like from next Friday, 22nd.
Correct. Exactly.
22nd of whole week you will not be available. I mean till 30th.
I'll not be there for the whole week for the next week, but if required, I'm also carrying my laptop. So if required, I can also take 1 hour, but mostly I see that I'm enjoying my vacation. And once I come back, then again, I can take up this.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem. Okay. And please don't take session on Saturday and Sunday of July. Like, I just want to know how many more sessions like we need.
Okay.
Because I'm also going on a vacation in July, like around 7th and 8th.
By that, things will get covered. So I'll be coming on 2nd of July. So I think 2nd is on Tuesday. So from Tuesday night itself, we can start our sessions back, like anything is pending, anything, because I need to take, I want to keep one doubt session after I come back. And with that doubt session, if there is any one session left or 2 sessions left, then I'll take in that week itself on 2nd, 3rd, 4th, whatever it is.
Okay, 2nd is Monday.
So 2nd is Monday. Okay, yeah, 2nd is Monday. Fine. Then I'll be coming on Tuesday morning.
Okay.
So that is on 3rd. So from 3rd we can take up here.
Okay.
All right. So if that is the case, then let's wrap up and then we'll meet tomorrow same time.